Okay, this is just a quick little lesson. This is a very quick lesson on solving trig equations, and we're not going to have to do anything more than this, but this is just to show you how to do the problem. Now by hand, if you look at this equation here, let's just draw this equation right here. Okay. Now we know sine x. We know if what the values for sine x are. We know that it goes from 0, 0, and then it goes up to 1, and then it goes through 180 and negative 1 and back to 0. So that's basically our sine graph. Right? Now, to solve it, what we're looking for is we want to know when sine x is equal to 0.5. So all we do is we graph. So we graph y is equal to sine x. And then we graph y is equal to 0.5. And y is equal to 0.5 is just a straight line. Now, we have a domain. We talked about domain. That's all your possible or your restrictions on your x values. They want the graph to go from 0 to 360 only. We know that the sine graphs go forever, but we only want it to go between 0 and 360, and then we want to know, basically, that's a very bad line, but we want to know where these graphs intersect. And they intersect twice. Right? They intersect at 30 and 0.5 and 150 and 0.5. So that's the solution to this particular equation, okay, where they intersect. Now, we're going to be using a calculator to do this. We're not going to be doing this by hand. So what we have to do is, well, I'll have to do with my emulator first, is make sure that it's in degree mode. And then go to my graph menu, put sine of x in y1, and then I have to fix my window. Now my window has to go according to the domain, so it has to go 0 to 360. The rest of it's okay, it should be fine. So if I exit out of that and I draw it, there's my nice lovely little sine graph from 0 to 360. Now what I do, whoops, is exit. I want in y2, I want to put the y is equal to 0.5, 0.5, and draw. And you can see that the graph intersects the sine graph in two positions between 0 and 360. And then we just go g-solve. Well, where are those points? The intersection point is at 30 and 0.5 and 150 and 0.5. Done. Solution. Those are the x values, and you only need the x values. You don't need anything else to solve. So let's do the next one. So the next one is, again, if I go down to this next questions, solve the trig equations between 0 and 360. So they give me my domain. And if I want to put this first equation in, there's tan, by the way. We haven't done much with tan, but that's a tan graph between 0 and 360. And we want it to equal 1. So we're not only going to draw this first part of the graph, which is on the left side of the equal sign, but I'm going to put y is equal to 1. Okay, and we want to go from 0. Oh, well, we don't need to put restrictions, but we can just go, no, we don't need to do that, actual. So we've got this, make this bigger again. We've got y is 1 all the way across here, and you can see that there are two positions where the graph crosses y is equal to 1. The tan graph, and the values are 1.5. 158.199 and 338.199. Those are the points of intersection. That solves that equation. Now, if we want to do this on my graphing calculator. Then I'll put 5 tan x plus 3, and then, oops, okay, and then I'll just put up y1. I should have put that as y1, but it doesn't matter. And I'll make that one. Draw. There we go. Our tan graph with y1 is going through, and we want to find those points of intersection at 1.5, 158.198, and 338.198, and so on. So we get the same answer with our graphing calculator. So you can check it with Desmos. So if you're going to do these next, say, 2, you can put those into your graphing calculator and check them out, see if they're right. Now, the only little blurb I would say is this thing here. Sometimes it gets a little tricky as to the order that you enter when you have cos square x is equal to 1/9. So when you enter that into your Casio calculator, you do it like that. You go cos x in brackets squared. Okay, so the square comes on, and TIs do it quite differently. But that's how you do it for Casio, and then you make it equal 1/9. So that's it. And there's another page here, and you can practice these ones for this, and I believe the answers, if you scroll down or down the bottom, and you can just check this out. Okay, so that's it. That's just solving trig equations using Casio. It's not particularly hard, and the practice comes out of the theta. There's not a lot of these questions, and you're only going to do the degree questions.